Good afternoon, gamers. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about a control freak deck. All right, you're thinking, oh, controlling my enemy's creatures? Oh, that's so been there, done that. No, 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 no. This is a control freak deck. Okay, so you wonder who's in charge. All right, you've already seen it. It's Ayara, Widow of the Realm, for 1 and 2 black. You can tap her, sack another creature or artifact, and then it'll deal X to target opponent or battle, and you gain X life, where X is the sacrifice permanent's mana value, which is pretty good. Pretty good. You get to like ping somebody. Big mana values are going to be in the deck as well, but this is not the main ability. Mainly, we're going to be looking at the pay 5 and 2 life, because there's no way I'm paying 6 mana for this transform ability. But you transform her as a sorcery, okay, and you get Ayara, Furnace Queen, okay. Oh man, she's the highlight of this deck. You really need her, okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, return up to one target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So you're gonna be wondering who's in charge, okay? Me. I'm in charge. Eventually. Always in theory, okay? So this whole deck is about one thing and one thing in particular. So these are the pieces, okay? Mind Slaver, okay? 6 mana, legendary artifact. 4 mana, tap it, sacrifice it, okay? You see where I'm going here. You control target player during that player's next turn, okay? I'm not taking your creatures. I'm not taking your land. I'm not taking anything. I'm taking you. I'm taking your turn, okay? And you're wondering, oh, okay, so you get to do this every combat, right? Because you get it back. You pay 4 mana. You sacrifice it. It doesn't get exiled because it dies before the end step trigger, which is pretty sweet. So you get to control someone during the next turn. That's kind of cheeky. That's kind of silly. Yes. We also got Emrakul in here if you want to be even cheekier. Hard cast it for like 13 or a little bit less than that. So you gain control of them as well. And then also just for even more measure, we're running Worst Fears. These two, Emrakul and Worst Fears, are backups. Okay? And you know that's a scary thing. When these like 8, 10 mana cost cards are the backups, well, we just got to make sure we can really double down and control some players during their turns. Okay? So the idea is we're going to be getting them. Be getting the Mind Slaver, all right? With Gamble. We gamble for it. Boom. 1 mana, search it, put it into our hand, and we discard a card at random. We do not care if this is the Mind Slaver, okay? Because if it's going in our graveyard, that means we can recur it when we upgrade our guy into the. We transform them, and we get that cool little ability on the back, so we bring it back in combat. Fervent Mastery, okay? We're going to pay the 4. Who cares? Okay? It says it's usually 5 mana, but you may pay 4 mana instead. If you pay 4 mana, an opponent can wheel their hand, which, they might not want to. They might want to. Yeah. And, an opponent, so I guess it's a target opponent, I believe. And then you search your library for up to 3 cards, put them in your hand, shuffle, then discard 3 at random. You don't care if this guy goes in the graveyard because you're going to want him back anyway. So you can do a bunch of shenanigans with this, okay? Finally, we got Goblin Engineer. This one just straight puts him into your graveyard, so you don't got to worry, but he's also 2 mana, so that's pretty sweet. And you can also sack artifacts, which we'll have some artifacts in here in the full deck. But you can red and sack an artifact, return target artifact with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can bring back your soul rings after those artifact wipes, etc. You got to do what you got to do, okay? So here's the strat. You wonder how we're going to be doing this to every player? Multiple combats, baby, okay? Aggravated Assault, 2 and a red. For 5 mana, bit steep. We got other ways to do this for cheaper, but you can do this repeatably, and it's an enchantment, so it's kind of hard to wipe it away. 3 and 2 red. Untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's another combat phase and another main phase. Play this only anytime you can play a sorcery. So during that second main, your regular main phase, you'll play this, okay? And then there's an extra combat, more combats, more combats. That way you can bring back that control ability to take control of players for all 3. So I go, then my homie's next. I take his turn, okay? Then I get my second combat. I take that my next player number 2's turn, okay? Then I, get one more combat maybe, and I take the third player's turn, and I'm just playing by myself at that point, all right? And that's the goal, okay? We also got Port Razor, which does the exact same thing. I swing it at each player, okay? And then I get another combat. This guy's free in terms of mana-wise, as long as I can get him in, which is why we also got Bloodthirster, who has flying and trample. He's a bit more, and by that I mean he's 1 more mana, and he does the same thing. So you can't attack a player it's already attacked this turn. Pretty good. Just kind of way better, in my opinion, because it's 6/6 flying and trample, so you can just guarantee a couple of combats. You only really need like 2 combats to get your abilities off, which is pretty sweet. So we're doubling down even more on those double combats. We got Godo. Godo is the Goto in this deck, okay? Because if you don't got your gamble, all of your tutors are somewhere in the deck. If you get Godo out, he will immediately search up your mind control artifact. Okay, put it on the battlefield, and then you get another combat phase. So it's just really good. A really good guy. Really really swag. We love Godo. We also got Scourge of the Throne. This only gives you 1 extra combat step, but that could be enough sometimes if you've got people who are weak enough where you don't have to worry about them. Okay, we love it. It's got Dethrone as well, so it's a flying 5/5. And we got Kite Charger, which does the same thing but with haste. And you do have to pay 7 mana though. So bit expensive. If you got more mana, you got more mana. This deck really wants some Basalt Monolith, Forsaken Monument type shenanigans. But don't worry, we've also got some War Profiteering in this deck, okay? We're going to be doing a lot of swinging, okay? A lot of combat steps. I mean, Cavern Horde Dragon is the GOAT, okay? He's going to be making hell of treasures for us, okay? For one, he's really cheap to cast, because hopefully your opponents are got some mana rocks out, at least, okay? And you're getting treasure. You need those treasures to do all your taking control of other players, okay? You also got big ask on the wallet wise, Ancient Copper Dragon. He does the same thing, but it's a random D20 roll. If you get 2 combats in, you're rolling. That's a maximum of 40, average of 20, low of 2. We love to gamble like that. We take those. We also got a Revel in Riches. Not exactly war profiteering, but profiteering in the sense that your opponents are going to want to block your dudes, so that way that you don't get your extra combat steps, so they will die, and you get that treasure token. Okay. And then if you, it's another win con. I mean, we're never gonna win off Revel in the Riches, guys. Never. No one ever wins off Revel in Riches. So we're gonna help out our client here. Our client being the Mindslaver. We're gonna help him out by doubling his activated ability. So if you only get it off once and you have Lithoform, 2 mana tap, you just did that at a discount. Okay. So then you get to control 2 players, which is pretty sweet. So you're wondering how do how do how do this deck play? Okay, you get your Ayara, so you got to do this the hop from your regular commander into the better commander by paying like 5 mana and 2 life. Okay, then you go to combat. You get your Mind Slaver out. Okay, you pay 4 mana, tap it, sacrifice it, use your Lithoform engine, pay 2, tap that, and then you control 2 players. Okay, this is bare bones kind of beat. Okay, or you hit those extra combat steps and you absolutely swag on them. Okay, then this is pretty much what's going to happen. You, the Giga Chad, okay, are going to be sitting there while your friends, all sad Wojaks, watch you play their decks better. Okay, this is all for their benefit. Okay, because they're listen. Nobody plays the game like I do, so I should play as everybody. Okay, and I should legally be able to control you at all times. All right, that's the whole point of this entire game is for me to play and you all to recognize that I'm a genius. Okay, so I'm gonna make you, kill you. I win. Okay, that's the perfect thing. And while they're all sitting there, while you look at their hand and you sit like a counselor, like Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, just be like, "Yes, sir," asking them what they think you should do, and then disregarding it because you're a Giga Chad. Okay, you do whatever you want. You're sacrificing their own creatures. You're swinging them. All their poor commanders are all at your behest. They're all going to be thinking, your name here, so good. They're going to be thinking, my God, he pulled it off. He's the best. This guy, oh my God, the legends are going to be written about this guy. Okay, and they're going to be like, what kind of power level is your deck? The only thing you ask them is, what power level is yours? Yeah, because I'm going to be playing you real soon, buddy. Okay, and that's the whole point of this entire deck is that they all love you so much because you play their deck better. If this helped you out, I'd love a like and subscribe. If you think this deck is silly epic, please leave a comment down there. And if you're one of those wham wham babies who think having my entire turn stolen infinitely at that with no kind of responses is unfair, blue exists in this game, guys. Classic blue slander. Am I right? All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and have a good one. See ya.